Barbados bids farewell to one of its distinguished sons. That's our top story in your Afternoon Barbados Today News Update for Friday, November 3rd. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Overcast skies and intermittent showers mirrored the solemn mood at the St. Lucie Parish Church as family, dignitaries and officials celebrated the life of the island's 6th Governor-General, Sir Clifford Husbands. Acting Governor-General Sir Philip Graves led a long line of dignitaries, including Prime Minister Frondell Stewart and members of his cabinet, Chief Justice Sir Marston Gibson, former Governor-General Sir Elliot Belgrave, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur, and members of the opposition Barbados Labour Party. Sir Clifford, who died at the age of 91 on October 12, was hailed for his outstanding service to the island for decades, first in the legal and judicial system, and then as the country's head of state. He was also remembered as a family man who loved agriculture and interacting with others. Queen's Counsel Brian Clark delivered the tribute before the packed congregation.
That took us to school and all of our extracurricular activities and collected us. There was one car. So if we had a meeting after work, we were staked out in the car until his meeting was finished. We learned from an early age that homework could be done in any location. That dinner came when we got home, and we couldn't get things our own way when we wanted. Dad was later appointed Director of Public Prosecutions, then a Supreme Court judge, and an appellate judge, and acted as Chief Justice. He retired from the bench to what we thought was going to be a quiet, relaxing time spent at the family home and in the land. But that was not to be. One night we gathered as a family, and he informed us that the Prime Minister at that time had asked him to be the Governor-General of Barbados, an honor to serve his country at the highest level. He accepted, and Mom stood by his side. For 16 years, we shared him with you publicly, but Sir Clifford to you was first and foremost Dad to us.
In other news this Friday, Assistant Commissioner of Police Erwin Boyce is refuting claims that there is a code of silence in the Royal Barbados Police Force and officers are getting away with wrongdoing. Boyce defended his colleagues and the force's operations while speaking at the first of a series of town hall meetings on tackling gun violence in our communities held earlier this week at the Princess Margaret Secondary School.
He's misleading. He mentioned something about the code of silence and within the context of the police organization. I'm proud to be a police officer. I'm proud to be a police officer because we are an organization that purge ourselves of any wrongdoing. We purge ourselves of any wrongdoing. We put people before the court who are police officers.
A top official of the Inter-American Development Bank warns that Barbados and the rest of the region is facing a range of challenges which are hindering development and economic growth. Lead technical specialist at the IDB, Juan Carlos Navarro, says while there are a number of firms in the region that want to innovate, too much bureaucracy was standing in the way.
Look at this. Access to finance, knowledge barriers, with protection of property rights, infrastructure for innovation. I mean, if you go down that list, even if the majority of businesses in the Caribbean want to innovate, they find one of these market failures along the way. You know, it's almost the portrait of market failure.
Navarro says the situation called for swift, decisive action from both government and the private sector. He was addressing officials at the second annual Innovate Barbados conference at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center earlier this week.
Actions have to be taken, which there are only two ways of doing this. Either public policy that will facilitate the correction of market failure, or concerted action by the private sector that associating itself or coordinating itself brings to brings to the table some kind of solution, coordinated solution to this that will not appear spontaneously.
Barbadians have another business in which they can invest. Productive Business Solutions Limited is now listed on the Barbados Stock Exchange. The international company received a warm welcome on Wednesday at a ceremony which included representatives from CIBC First Caribbean, the Barbados Stock Exchange, and other officials. PBS is the largest exclusive Xerox distributor in the Western Hemisphere. It operates in 14 countries across the Caribbean and Latin America. Chairman of PBS, Paul Scott, said the company made a deliberate decision to offer a secondary listing on the Barbados Stock Exchange.
For us, listing on this stock exchange is very important for many reasons. The first reason is it's an international stock exchange. For us, we look forward to many, many more listings on this stock exchange. And we hope they will be quality listings so that when our name is there, there are other quality offerings beneath it that we can feel proud to say we're on the Barbados Stock Exchange.
General Manager of the Stock Exchange, Malon Yard, was happy to welcome the new company.
We at the Barbados Stock Exchange will work assiduously to ensure that the confidence reposed in us will be fulfilled in support of PBS's core values of respect and integrity. We believe that a listing of your company on the international securities market in a jurisdiction such as Barbados, with its reputation and strong regulatory framework, will enhance PBS's profile as a business that exemplifies dignity and fairness to all its stakeholders.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
We pick up with news from our regional neighbors. Prison officers in Trinidad and Tobago are reportedly turning to Canada for protection. According to the association that represents them, officers are seemingly seeking asylum in the foreign country amidst fears for their lives following recent deadly attacks.
We are going to the Canadian Embassy where we will be delivering a letter, and that letter proposes an alternative where we will be asking the High Commissioner to look at and give us more information as it pertains to seeking asylum in that country. Prison officers and by extension their families no longer feel safe in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
But wouldn't such asylum, if granted by the Canadian government, leave the nation's prisons largely unmanned?
Well, that is a question for the government to answer. We have done all we could have done under the sun to have the central government treat with this matter. Criminal elements are training their guns at prison officers, and there are no resistance from the state. An attack on any law enforcement official, inclusive of prison officers, an attack on the state.
He said the government, and by extension parliamentarians, are numb to their concerns.
So we are going to the High Commission in an effort to get more information from the Commission in order to pursue what we believe could be the only life-saving step at this point in time, which is seeking asylum in that country.
That report from Joel Brown of TV6 News. And finally, on the international scene, prosecutors in South Africa are appealing for a longer sentence for convicted Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius. They say the 6-year sentence imposed on Pistorius, who was found guilty of murdering girlfriend Rivers Tim Camp back in 2013, is shockingly light. The prosecutors told the Supreme Court of Appeal the sentence did not match the gravity of the crime and a 15-year sentence should be imposed instead. But defense lawyers argued that the punishment handed down by the lower court is appropriate. Pistorius claimed that he shot Tim Camp after mistaking her for a burglar at his home. And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good afternoon.